Howdy, everybody. We made it. We made it through another week. How's everyone doing? Excuse the mess. Excuse the video lights and everything. I was filming a video today. Monday's video. DC20 101. Techniques. We're going over techniques on Monday. Short. It's a very short video. We don't cover every single technique. We're not trying to give the entire book away. But, yeah, I think it's helpful. Let's see. Let's get some hellos out here. Who we got? Who we got? Liam has appeared. Manic has appeared. What's up, Manic? We're going to be using some DC crit today. Glenn. Knucklebone of Fickle Fortune. Andrew Tucker. A the Ant. I forgot to pay... Oh, you're right. It's February now. Shoot. Yeah, I need to remove and add some people on the patron thank yous at the beginning of the stream. Thank you for reminding me. Here we go. Here we go. Patreon. Boom. It's noted. Noted. I did finish laundry and dinner. Some laundry is now washing, so not all of it, but yeah. Very epic music. Thank you. I like to think so. I know there were a bunch of new subs popping off in the beginning part. That was wild. You're already supporting. G'day, mate. You forgot the patron. I know. There's like 5 messages letting me know. I know. Hiya, Zanya. Oh my gosh, we're at 6. Suck. There it is. I don't know if you guys heard that, but the sound blurps work now on the Twitch side. I actually don't know if y'all heard that or not. I got it added on the other side, but let me double check. Let me make sure. I added a few things to the stream so that we could have a little bit of fun. And one of them was the alerts, or not the alerts, what are they called? Help. The blurps. All right, Control C, Control V. All right, boom. Yeah, y'all let me know if y'all heard that or not. I could hear it. Okay. Yeah, those work. We'll see how often they get used. If it's too often, we'll turn them. We'll put a cooldown on them, or we'll up the price increase, or maybe even something that you spend bits for. But yeah, we'll see how they work. We're also, I have you guys here, so we're gonna test something before the stream starts. I thought it'd be really fun because sometimes I'm really locked in when we're making these stat blocks, and it's like a second before I look over at the chat. So I thought, what if we had text to speech? So here's how this might work. I'm hoping it works. Theoretically, you should be able to put in the command in chat, both on YouTube and Twitch, !TTS. When you do, you should theoretically be able to send a message that you hear read out loud on stream. And the idea behind this is, if there's a really good idea I'm not seeing in the chat because I'm super locked in on the DC20 stat block, this interrupts my flow process, and I'm like, oh, yeah, that's probably a good idea. So it shouldn't have a cost. Like, it shouldn't cost any kind of donation fee on YouTube. It shouldn't cost any like bits or anything on Twitch. It should just be free. So if anyone wants to test it, I don't know how it works. All I know is that there's a command. Oh. Okay. Okay. Wait. All right. So is that working? That must be on the YouTube side. Interesting. Here, let's try. All right. So that's Microsoft David. I'm gonna change the voice to Microsoft Mark. Let's see if we like Mark's voice better. We might run a poll. So that first voice you heard was David.
Andrew Tucker says, bruh.
I'm having fun with this. All right, I saved it. Oh, can I not change it during stream? I might not be able to change it during stream. We'll try Microsoft Mark, save setting, change. All right, now it's on Microsoft Mark. So that first one you heard was David. Actually, I'm gonna go ahead and get a poll up just in case. We're gonna start a poll. Which voice for text to speech? David, Mark, and then who's the other one? And Zira? I think that's how you say it. I hope I said it right. Okay. All right. Okay. Let's see. Let's see if it works again. Let's see if it works. I don't know how long it takes. It broke. Oh, did we break it? Oh, man. Did I break it? All right. I wonder. All right. So copy. We're figuring this out. We're figuring this out. Oh, we don't need two of these. Okay. Text to speech. Control V. It should be the same. It should work now. It didn't work on Twitch to begin with. I did set it up on the YouTube profile. You know what? It didn't have me check any boxes for... You know what? We'll just share the screen. We're working on this together. Why not? I don't think this is going to dox me in any way. Here, we're going to Control C.
Says, hi. Zaxenia says.
Oh? Hold on. It worked now. I may have just had to refresh the browser. Hold on. Okay. Let's go back. So I believe it works. So that's Mark, by the way. The first voice we heard earlier was David. That's Microsoft Mark. And I believe the way it works, if I'm understanding chat correctly, it's !TTS space, and then whatever your message is. There is a character limit. There is a cooldown on it. Oh, I wonder if that's why some of it's not working. There's a cooldown. I currently have the cooldown at 120 seconds for each user. Should we Because I didn't want people to just spam it. I think it's fun, but I didn't want people to just spam it. So maybe that's why we didn't hear some of those from earlier. It might have been because of the cooldown. That's my theory. Oh yeah, we got... I don't hear any voices. Turn the cooldown off for testing. All right. Yeah, we'll do that. Cooldown is on 0 seconds. Save settings. And then I'm just going to refresh it. Okay. We're going to go back to the interactive page because it seemed to work over here. It immediately stopped working when we went to the just chatting page. Oh, and thank you for hitting our like goal for the stream. All right, yeah, we have the cooldown now on 0 seconds. Oh, you know why it's not working on Twitch? Because the minimum roll is for subscribers. No, we got to change that to all. That might be why. That might do it.
Says, womp womp.
Oh. All right, that one just went through. We heard a womp womp from...
Says, alrighty then. Says, let's go.
Okay, so now it's working. Now it's working on YouTube. Now it's working on Twitch. Zazania's on YouTube.
It's very quiet.
It's very quiet? Is it quiet for everyone else? If so, we can turn up the volume. We know it's quiet for A the Ant. Fromage. Oh, come on, say fromage. Come on, TTS. Yeah, let's make it louder. Let's make it, I don't know, like 85%?
Says, everyone is complaining, LOL.
Alright, so it's working on Twitch for A the Ant, and it's working on YouTube for Zazania. Interesting. Alright. Well, that's good to know. Good to know. I'll experiment more with that a little bit later then. Right now we have the cooldown on 0. We have the voice volume up to 90%. So if it works, it works. If it doesn't, we'll figure some...
Says, haha, I am better than the YouTube freaks.
Not the YouTube freaks. Don't make me turn it off on Twitch. Or just turn it off in general. But yeah, so if I'm ever super locked into a stat block and I'm like blaring missing something and you guys need to remind me.
He says, let's mine FLAYER.
Hold on, it worked for Glenn. Hold on, it might just be working now. It might just be working now. Okay. All right. So yeah, if it works, it works. If not, oh well. And then we also have the sound effects working over on the Twitch end of things. We don't have that necessarily on YouTube because YouTube doesn't like streaming. But you know what? We didn't do that third voice, so we're just going to start this poll real quick. And then we have another poll because with the monsters that we're going to be building moving forward, there's going to be a little bit of changes. I've changed a few little stat blocks. So, over in YouTube, we have a poll up right now. This is a silly poll. Vote for which voice you like first. You like better. The first one from earlier in the stream was David. The one that you have been hearing recently is Mark. And then there's a third voice that we haven't tested yet. I'm not going to press any more buttons because it feels like it's working and I don't want to break it. I don't want to break it. Oh, it looks like Mark is winning though. You hear it, it's just really low. Still?
Athayan says, I once had an NPC called Mark the Plower. Andrew Tucker says, Mind FLAYER. I barely know her.
Mind FLAYER, I barely know her. Okay. I think it's still putting a cooldown on. Interesting. I think it's putting a cooldown on people even though there shouldn't be one. But then again, I don't know.
Athayan says, still quiet, and Prob turned the cooldown back on.
It's still quiet at 90% volume. All right, we'll put the cooldown on for 1 minute. That should be appropriate.
Says, let's go.
Oh, well, it's working. All right, it's on 100% volume. It can't go any higher than that. To make it go higher, I'd have to turn up my microphone in OBS, and I don't want to do that. All right, so we're going to keep it on the voice from Mark. All right, so now here's the next part before we dive into the Mind Flayer. As you know, we've been talking...
Athayan says, maybe there should be a way of seeing what the cooldown is.
No. Absolutely not. Because it's different for everybody. So, with the monsters that we've been building recently, we've only ever had them go up to level 10. Recently, it was announced that starting with, I believe, 0.9, the progression table that puts you to level 20 and beyond in DC20, it's going to be removed for now, and they're going to readdress that system when they have the time to work on it. So, we're only going to be focusing on making monsters up to level 10 anyways, because that's the max that you can make your class before entering the prestige system and a bunch of other cool DC20 mechanics. But with that, I wanted to make sure that we had an up-to-date stat guide, because we've noticed that with some recent DC20 magazines, some monsters got some buffs and others kind of remained the same. So, I've been saying it for months. I finally took the time to sit down and update my list based off the Monster Starter Pack. In DC...
Finney says, DC20 West Marches is keeping the prestige levels for now.
Oh, interesting. Maybe I will add... Thankfully, with this new monster stat thing, it's easy to add the levels 11 through 20 to these monsters. But I'm going to pull up something. Here we go. This is my new monster stat guide. This is version 3. Don't worry, I will be sharing it later. No one has access to it yet, but I will be sharing it. It's formatted a little bit differently than the old ones. You know, the old ones, we had all these rows for different levels. But I wanted it to kind of reflect what is official as far as the DC20 monster stats go in the magazines. So this is what we got. So, where do I need the poll? Where do I need your guys' input? Well, that's going to be with the solo monster health. So, I have two options. So we're going to go down here and I'll actually zoom in a little bit. So right here, you have option 1 and option 2. Option 1 is what's currently in the solo health bar. So what you're seeing underneath solo, right? So this is null. This is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right. So those are the levels. We'll put them on the left side. I need to know...
Finney says, yes, I know the old ones. They looked into my soul.
They looked into my soul. So what I need to know from you guys, which one do you think scales more appropriately for the solo level boss? The numbers that are currently in the solo column, or the ones next to the solo column not colored? So we're going to run a poll. I already asked some people in my Discord. It was basically tied. Some people said keep the original numbers. Some people said get the updated numbers. I mean, all of it's updated, but one is definitely way higher than the other. So, which is better scaled for solo monsters. So we're going to say option 1, then we're going to say option 2. And the poll is going to go live now. All right, so on YouTube, the poll is up. Again, option 1 is what's currently in the solo bar. So all these red numbers. Option 2 are all the numbers to the right of it, not colored. Now notice it's only level 1 through 10. There's nothing different for a 0 and 1 because they're going to be 25 and 35. Really the difference is 1 scales by a factor of 1.4, and then 1 gets increments of 5 added. So 5, a 10, a 15, 20, 25, 30, etc. So I'm really, really curious to see what you guys think, because this will dictate how we make monsters going forward, at least when it comes time to making a solo boss. Whether that's like a Tiamat or Vecna, Strahd, you name it. Darkseid, Thanos, I don't know.
Athayan says, it hurts my brain that option 1 isn't completely have multiples of 5.
That's part of why I want an opinion, because everything else is very clean, very much in scales of 5. But yeah, and then you get to the solo one and it's like, See, you guys are saying in chat. What's your prediction for when 0.9 drops? Probably, I'm going to say earliest next week. I think earliest next week, but realistically, probably the week after Valentine's Day. That's my guess. It's very pretty, cool, red original. I won't vote because I haven't run high levels yet. Same kind of. I haven't run high levels, but I have taken high level monsters and scaled them appropriately. I prefer multiples of 4, makes easier to figure bloodied and well-bloodied.
Glenn Finney says, scales of 4 for bloodied and well-bloodied.
Yeah, I forgot bloodied and well-bloodied are part of the game. I honestly never use those. I honestly never use those in the game. All right, I'm going to check on the poll. Let's see what we got. Interesting. So we got, for option 1, 33%. Option 2, 67%. All right, I know that there's at least 12 people watching. You still have a vote. Half of you still have a vote. So if you have a preference, much more health, much less health, vote right now. You get 1 more minute.
Ant says, option 3, instead of increasing by 10, maybe alternate with increasing by 5 and 10.
So here's how these ones level up, right? So if you look at boss, I'm talking about option 2 column, right? If you look at boss and then you look at the solo for the null level, it's 25. So that increases by 5. Then we go from 25 to 35. That one increases by 10. So option 2 increases by 5s, right? So then we got increases by 15, increases by 20, increases by 25, and so forth. That's how option 2 scales. Option 1 scales by a multiplier of 1.4. So it's 1.4 times whatever the appropriate column is on the boss monster, and then that's the total we put down for the solo monster. All right, and a few more seconds, and we're gonna end the poll in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ending poll. Okay. So, option 2 is our winner. Okay. So, I'm gonna take these numbers. We can scale this out now. Boop. Yeah. Yes. Control V. Go ahead and make this aesthetically pleasing. There we go. All right, so that's how our solo monsters are going to scale. What about using the golden ratio equal 1.6? I would know nothing about the golden ratio unless it's in art class. That is the only time I know about the golden ratio. Level 0 would be 35, 1 would be 40, 2 would be 50, 3 would be 55, etc. What? I don't know what you mean by those numbers, but anyways, here's what we're doing. Delete cells. Sure, shift up, I don't care. All right. So, what are we converting today? We are converting a Mind Flayer. We're converting a Mind Flayer from 5e. It's weird because I have to clarify which Mind Flayer because I was asked in the DM today. We are converting the 2014 Mind Flayer from 5th edition from the 2014 edition, geez Louise, to DC20. As of, I guess technically this week, but in 2 weeks, the 2024 edition will officially be labeled 5th edition moving forward. And what we know as 5th edition will be labeled as the 2014 edition. So, we are doing the 2014 Mind Flayer. When I get my hands, my grubby little hands on that new monster book, we are converting every monster to DC20. And there's a lot of things about those stat blocks I want to add to DC20. For example, I really want to add, really want to add the lootable items, because now on monsters there's gear that you can take, and then there's treasure that's an option that the DM can have on the body. I really like the little changes like that about the new stat blocks. Anyways, I'm getting ahead of myself. Very excited. I'm very excited. It is a very fun song. Every day I wake up and I start to break up. Lonely as a man without love. That's the song from the Marvel show, Moon Knight. Looks like TTS doesn't like my singing. I don't think it does. Weird. Monster 2044 Monster Manual isn't even out yet. If you're a Master Tier subscriber on D&D Beyond, it is. All right. Let's go ahead and make a mind.
Ant says, every day I wake up. Then I start to break up. Lonely is a man without love.
All right. All right. Touche. All right, so we are on DC Crit. So, exclamation point DC Crit in the chat if you're interested in using this. The ways that you can get access are supporting Manic on Patreon. I believe it's exclamation point DC Crit. I was corrected last week. I think it's DC Crit. I think it said exclamation point Manic last week. Exclamation point DC Crit in the chat to get access to dccrit.com. This is where we are building all of our monsters for DC20. Which, by the way, support Manic on Patreon. That's a great way. You get to see behind the scenes. You get to sit in on some of the coding sessions. Really cool. I haven't had a chance to do that yet, but I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward for the time I can. All right, we're gonna create a new monster. There we go. We're gonna call this Mind Flayer, or should we say Mind Goblin? These nuts. Sorry. Mind Flayer. All right, now let's go ahead and look at the Mind Flayer and see what we're gonna be converting over. So, this is the Mind Flayer. Some people call them Illithids. I think Mind Flayer sounds cooler. They're basically just aliens in DC20, in Dungeons and Dragons. They suck your brain. They transform you into Mind Flayers. There's a lot of other monsters that are really cool that can be used with these, like Intellect Devourers. What's the giant brain called? The Great Intellect, I think that's what it's called. Anyway, super cool. Very, very super cool. They're like Star Trek Borgs, but squid people. Like the Borg from Star Trek, but they're squid people. I love them. I really like them. Wow, Jakin lied to us? What you mean? What you mean? What'd I lie about? What'd I lie about? Oh, I see what I lied about. What is the command then? Hold on. Hold on. I double checked. I double checked all the commands.
Says, Hail Hydra.
You did not just say Hail Hydra. Ah, you did not. You freaking got me. Next month is not next month. Next week is Captain America, Brave New World. I really hope it's good. I really hope it's good. Speaking of, how many of you guys saw that Fantastic Four trailer? We had a watch party.
Says, Elder Brain.
Elder Brain. That's what it is. Thank you, Conkus. Oh my god, you guys. It's with my old command system. That's why. Okay, so DC crit. We are literally updating this right now. I'm proving it. All right, give me a second. We're gonna make this right. I use DC crit so much on these streams. We are not moving forward until we have this fixed. All right. Command C. All right. Support DC. Support DC crit. I can't spell to save my life. Boom. I don't know what that is. Not Discord. Boom. Okay. Confirm. Oh my goodness. New follower. I don't know how to say that. I'm so sorry. Zirian11? Zirian? I hope I said that right. If not, correct me in the chat. But thank you for the follow. Thank you so much. All right. Now, you should be able to put exclamation point DC crit in the chat. And that'll take you to Manic's Patreon page where you can support Manic and get access to DC crit to build some DC20 monsters. It should work now. It should work. Okay. So, Mind Flayer. It's a medium aberration, lawful evil. Armor class of 15, health points or hit points 71.
Ant says, look what got redeemed on Twitch.
Look what got redeemed on Twitch. Oh, I got your name right? That's awesome. Sorry, I forgot the Twitch channel points. So I've got to do this. I'm sorry, that's one of the redemptions on Twitch. I have to do it. Okay, now. Saving throws, intelligence, wisdom, and charisma. We got magic resistance. Innate spell casting. At will, detect thoughts, and levitate. Dominate monster. Oh my gosh. We're going to have to figure out what we're going to do with these spells. Tentacles. Extract brain and mind blast. We might be taking a few notes from the Cyborn in Psionic class in DC20 when making this. But let's start with the basics. So this is a medium aberration. So we're going to put down medium and aberration. This is a level 7 monster. All right, now what kind of role do we want to give this thing is the question. We have ambusher. Lurks in the shadows, waiting to attack unsuspecting victims. Fights with reckless abandon. Not a bruiser. Uses powerful magic to attack, support, or debuff. Manipulates the battlefield with spells or abilities. Influences the minds and alter perceptions. It might be Enchanter. I'll be honest. It's between Enchanter and Controller right now. Is Guardian, Healer, Hunter, Lackey, Lurker. Lurker kind of makes a little bit of sense. Excels at reconnaissance and detecting enemies. Skirmisher, Sniper. Summoner calls forth other creatures to fight on its behalf. I could see that. Tank, Trickster, and Warden. I'm going to say probably Enchanter. Influences the minds and alters perceptions. Luis, good night. Thanks for hanging out on the stream. Boss points and Apex actions.
Says, the Krusty Krab pizza is the pizza for you and me.
There you go. I wanted to sing for you then. There you go. All right. And then our rank. Are we a minion, low tier, mid tier, high tier, boss, or solo? This will drastically affect how much health this thing has. Beautiful voice, Liam. I'm kind of thinking high tier. I don't think it's necessarily a boss, and I definitely don't think it's a solo monster. Often surrounded by allies or minions, demanding careful strategy to defeat. A formidable opponent requiring teamwork.
Knucklebone of Fickle Fortune says, BRB, making a sandwich.
Proud of you. Alright, I think it's got spellcast. I think I'm going to go with high tier. So it's a formidable opponent requiring teamwork from multiple players to overcome. I could see it as a boss with minions like the Intellect Devourers and things, but I'm going to go high tier. All right, so we said it's a level 7 high tier. So let's consult our new monster stat block. So if we go down to level 7 and we go down to our high column, that's around 55 health points. Whew. And that means roughly our health. Where are we? All right, yeah, there we go. So 55 health points with a 16 physical defense and a 15 mystical defense. Oh, by the freaking way, I want to talk about this real quick. Oh, wait, 16, 15. So, for weeks, I was saying mystical defense for MD. Mystical defense, because that's what the 0.8 document said. That's what it said. And everyone in the chat was like, it's mental defense. Mystical defense is a separate thing. It's a damage category thing. And I was like, oh, my bad. Okay. I talked to Coach. I have a chat with Coach. And not only that, after our chat, I was like, I'm sorry, did he just repeatedly refer to MD as mystical defense? I go back and read the 0.8 book. And you won't believe what it was. Mystical defense. I don't know why I believed you. I don't know why I believed you that, oh, it's actually mental defense in the 0.8. Come here. I'll never make that mistake again. I'm always going to fact check you now. Ah! Anyways, now that I got that off my chest.
I heard you say mental defense one time, and I thought out loud, why isn't he saying mystical defense?
Because for 2 or 3 weeks in a row, the chat kept flaming me, and they were like, actually, it's mental defense. It's only mystical defense in this kind of scenario. And I was like, oh, enough people are saying it. They must be right. I'll never make that mistake again. This is my crash out. Ah. All right. Crash out over. So, with the physical defense and the mystical defense, You might notice that for each level, there's only one number for each category. So that is because that base number starts off at the minion tier. And then depending how high you go, you adjust it by 2. So I put down 16, but technically it should be 18, 20, 22. Technically it should be a 22 for its physical defense. My oh my. So we're gonna put 22. We're getting a little crazy. And then for 15, that would be 16, 17, 18, 19, 21. Yeah, it'd be about 21. Boop, boop. Bit high in it. 2014 only has a 15 armor class. That's true. But that's D&D. This is DC20. Alternatively, what you can do, if it is a little bit too high, instead of increasing it by 2 for each level, you can increase it by 1 for each level. So, instead of it being, what was it, like 16, and then bump it up to 22, it could start off as 16, 17, 18, 19. So if we think it should be 19 instead, we could just do that. So we could just go down. That's going up. We should just go down to 19. And then this one was what? 15. So that would be 1, 2, 3, 18. Ooh, there we go. Maybe the PD could be increased by 1 and the MD could be increased by 2. Here's what we're going to do with the MD. I'm glad you brought up the MD. We are increasing that damage reduction to 2. These are creatures that are all about brain power, all about mental capabilities taking over.
Dun, dun, dun.
All about taking over the brain. We are giving them some mystical damage reduction. All right. As far as our attributes go, they should be a 1-to-1 conversion. So our strength is going to be 0, but it's also going to have a con, so it's going to be 1. Agility is going to be 1. Crazy. Charisma is going to be 3. Boom, boom, boom. And then intelligence plus wisdom. Wow, that's 7. Is 7. Boop, 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 boop. There we go. There we go. Its MD had to be higher. Has to be higher. I agree. I agree. That's why I gave it some mystical damage reduction. But do we want it to be overall higher than physical defense? I don't know. I don't feel like it, but if enough people feel it, then we can definitely change that. Shouldn't you average the intelligence and wisdom instead of adding? Not always. Not always. Especially at level 7.
Fortune says, remember physical and mystical run.
Exactly. Exactly. It's not mental. It's not mental anymore. I'm gonna crash out over that. And then let's go ahead and pick 2 saves. Usually I put it in the opposite of whatever they're good at. So if they have 2 really good attributes like charisma and intelligence, I'll throw them in might and agility so that it might just have a fighting chance. But in this case, it probably makes sense for it to, you know. So 7, what would that be? That'd be plus 4, I believe. So 4, and I believe it works like that. Yeah. So it'd be, this thing is powerful. I'm pretty happy with this. We're going to have another check versus save debacle if someone tries to say otherwise. All right, so check this out. I'm glad you brought that up. I made a whole little formatting section of my new monster stat doc. All sorts of different formulas. So we have melee martial attack versus physical defense. X equals the number and then insert damage type. Ranged martial attack versus physical defense. X for the number, distance type. X for the number, damage type. Mana point effect. Ranged spell attack versus mystical defense. X for the distance type, X for the damage type. Maneuver name, save type, failure, result. Look at that. Look at that. It'll never happen again. It should at least be equal to or above. We'll make it equal. We'll compromise. Boop. Nah, boop. There we go. Haha. There we go. Sorry. My bad. My bad. Okay. Skills. What we got for skills? Arcana, Deception, Insight, Perception, Persuasion, and Stealth. Woo! Let's start with Arcana, shall we? Alright, so we got Arcana, which falls under Intelligence. And then at level 7, we have a Mastery of Novice. No, Adept, Novice. Maybe, I think it's just +4. So we got 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Oh, yeah, so yeah. Boop, 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 boop. All right, so we got Arcana 11. And then we got Deception for +6. We don't have that in DC20. So this will be Influence, which falls under Charisma, which will be 3 + 4, so 7. Boom. And we have Insight +6. Insight.
Fayette says, MD doesn't mean mystical or mental defense. It obviously means more defense.
More defense. Okay. Insight. That's Charisma? Right? Am I remembering that correctly? Yes. Okay. I was having a stroke. Yeah, Insight. So that'd be 7. 7. All right. And then we have Perception. We don't have Perception in DC20. We have Awareness. So we are going to add Awareness. So Awareness will be whatever the max attribute would be at that time. So that's going to be 4 + 4, so 8. Or I guess if it's 7, I guess that'd be freaking 11. Freaking crazy. I might drop that down to 8. Then we got Persuasion, and then we got Stealth. Yeah, I'm gonna drop that down to 8. All right, now we got Stealth, which falls under Agility. Yes, which is 1, so that'll be 5. All right, much more reasonable. Intelligence. Equal MD in physical defense works. 7-Eleven is my favorite store. Your favorite store? Not your favorite gas station? My favorite gas station is Buc-ee's because the gas is really cheap. And that's really nice. And they're really close because they're all over Texas. All right, now we got our senses. Dark vision, 120 feet. I believe that means 60 spaces. Dark vision. I'm definitely not pulling up the calculator again. No, definitely not. 120 divided by 5 is obviously 24 spaces, dummy. Why didn't y'all know that? Y'all should go back to school. Passive perception, passive awareness. Okay, so to calculate that, it's going to be 10 plus your modifier for that relative skill. We said awareness is 8. So our passive awareness is 18. That's crazy. I think that's supposed to be plus 18, right? No, wait, we just leave it as 18. What am I doing? Yeah, passive awareness, 18. Wild. 120 divided by 5. No. Let's petition for Pogger's defense. Pogger's defense and more defense. I'm not opposed to that. That's actually kind of funny. All right. So we have our saving throws. Oh, wait, it tells us our saving throws.
Dipula says, I'm said the rest of the country doesn't know what Wawa is.
Wawa? I know what Wawa is. I grew up in the South. There was a few Wawas. They were more so in Florida. Not so much in Georgia, but Wawa's all right. Bucky's is better. Senses, languages, deep speech, undercommon, and telepathy 120 feet. Okay. So we got deep speech. I believe it said undercommon, which isn't really one in DC20. And then what was it? Telepathy 120 feet. Crazy. All right, and then we got telepathy.
Says, Wawa,
that is not.
Jakin crying DC the big bad chat was lying about MD.
What? Telepathy 24 spaces. Boom. Preview. Nice. Nice. We're looking good so far. We're looking good. We're cooking. All right. Now we get in the wacky part, the features. Okay, dokie. Let's do this. Magic resistance is our first one. So let's go ahead and copy that over, and then we'll just adjust it as need be. That's the way I like to do it. So this one was called magic resistance. The mind flayer, which we are always going to capitalize. Anything that's important in a description should always be capitalized. The mind flayer has advantage, ADV, on saving throws against spells and other magical effects. Advantage on saves. Mind Flayer has advantage on saves against spells and other magical effects. Honestly, that doesn't really need much changing, so we're just going to leave that as is. All right, what is our next feature? That one wasn't too bad.
Glenn Finney says, make telepathy 20 spaces.
Make telepathy 20 spaces? Why 20? What? Why 20? What's your reasoning for this? What are you cooking over there? I'm not opposed, but I would like to know why. 20 spaces. What was our other feature? Innate spellcasting, psionics. How did we handle innate spellcasting when it came to Strahd?
Athayan says, multiples of 5 make brain happy.
Multiples of 5 make brain happy. Yeah, I don't remember what we did when we made Strahd. Copy of animatronic. New monster. What are these? Oh, right. We didn't make Strahd in DC Crit. That was before. That was in the Dark Ages. Oh, give me a second. Give me a second. Oh, my God. Where is Strahd? Oh, here's Strahd. Instead of 30 feet, you have 5 spaces. Instead of 60 feet, for dark vision, it's usually 10 spaces. I just make it 12 spaces. I make the monsters powerful because in my experience, the players are so freaking powerful compared to D&D. I don't care what the design team says, that they're kind of equal power to their level counterpart in D&D. Bull crap. Bull crap they are. All right. So how do we do this for Strahd? For Strahd, we put Spellcaster, Spider Climb, Vampire Awareness. We didn't really do the spells because he had them, right? Strahd had the spells, the innate spellcasting thing. Strahd, stat block. Yeah, spellcasting, and then I had all of his slots and everything. Yeah, okay. So what we are going to do, we're just gonna take the spellcaster feature from Strahd. So let's go down to spellcaster. Yeah, just take all of this, Control C, and then go back to this, the new one. Yeah, this is the new one. Okay. All right. So what was this? Spellcaster. The creature, we're going to call this the Mind Flayer. Mind Flayer. Can't make opportunity attacks, but can engage in spell duels using their blank actions. We have to decide what that action is later. They have a +X bonus when taking part in a spell duel. What is our check modifier now? So level 7, it's a +8. I'm going to say +4. Because that modifier is usually pretty low. So we're going to say a +4 bonus.
FLAYER says, I'm so excited for the new movie. I exclaimed with excitement. Little did I know it would be a feature. A creature feature. Featuring.
Featuring. Oh, it must have maxed out the character limit. What a cliffhanger. What a cliffhanger to end on. Tori's here. What's up? I was making pizza in the kitchen, but how goes? How's everyone? It goes. We are making monsters with our new monster stat template. So this is our new monster guideline. These are our levels, the check for the levels, the action points, and then the amount of health depending on the level and the type of difficulty for that creature, physical defense, and mystical defense. Yeah. All right. So we're on Spellcaster. So we will be looking at the spells Detect Thoughts, Levitate, Dominate Monster, and Plane Shift, and we'll probably find ways to incorporate those into the stat block because it typically has those spells. And I'm not really a fan of... I don't like the idea of stat blocks giving you spells to use for monsters. I don't like that. I wish they would just be part of the stat block in some way. So I think that's what we're going to try to do with this Mind Flayer tonight. Okie dokie. So that would mean our first action is Tentacles. Good lord. Good lord. All right. Tentacles. I'm going to go down to formatting. Boom. Control A, Control C. Now I have my formula. Ha ha ha. I'll never be confused again. So it's a one creature. Also has a chance to deal some psychic damage. If the target is medium.
FLAYER says, if you had a worse Mind Flayer, would it be a mid-flayer?
Probably. That's probably fair. Oh yeah, Tori. We added text-to-speech in the chat now. In case I get too locked in on a stat block and you need to remind me of a good idea. So if you ever feel like using that feature, exclamation point TTS and then space and put whatever your message is. It can't be too long. I think it's like a max of 140 characters. but so far we haven't really maxed that out yet. Please give us more DC20 vids. But what about the stitching vids? I like the stitching vids too. All right, so tentacles. We're gonna focus on the base attack, and then we're gonna figure out what kind of maneuver or save we can add onto it. So we're gonna consult the stat block sheet, go over to our monster stats for 7. No. I didn't include damage. I forgot the damage column. Oh. I think I left it in the other template. Shoot. Give me a second. I left the damage in the other template. Yep. Yes, I did. I can't believe I did it. Dang. Okay. So, level 7, high tier, technically should be 5 damage. I don't have the screen shared yet because I'm referring to quite a few different guides at the moment. Which we're gonna make another note on my hand. I just bumped the mic with my hat. Because I totally didn't add damage for the new monster stat block template. This is good to figure out before I share it publicly. So, boom, we made another mental note on a physical hand. Oh, check out that wedding ring, by the way. Check out that wedding ring. It's my wife and I's names engraved in Elvish from Lord of the Rings. Cinderin, that's what it's called. It's cute. All right. Damage. Shoot. Yeah, so that should be about... 4, probably 4, probably 5, but probably 5. We'll call it 5. Melee martial attack versus physical defense, 5 blank damage type. What does it say it does? It does psychic damage. Well, that'd be if it's targeting the brain, but it's not. I guess if you are being attacked and a tentacle slithers all over you, I probably would also not feel very happy about that. What are our options again? We got piercing, bludgeoning, lightning, cold, radiant, blah, 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 blah. I don't know. I don't think any of these apply to a tentacle. I guess we'll say piercing, since it's trying to go in your brain. Kind of like up your nostrils and stuff. Kind of body horror. That's kind of what mind flayers are. So we'll say piercing. We'll say 5 piercing damage. 5 piercing damage. All right, and then we'll add a little thing onto that because that's just what needs to happen. What happened? Just make another story from your game table. You have it in point 2. I have it in point 2. Point 2. Oh, well, yeah, I have these ones, but that's not the updated stuff, although it shouldn't be too far off. So we're fine just using that. This one is not mid-flayer, it's actually high tier. There you go. There you go.
Ant says, I think bludgeoning BC it has a different piercing attack, and it grapples.
because it has a different piercing attack. Melee weapon attack to hit, reach +5. Takes his piercing damage, tentacles. Yeah, we can do bludgeoning. I think bludgeoning works. Bludgeoning! Alright, now let's figure out how we add this condition or enhancement. So, if the target is medium or smaller, it is grappled and must succeed on a DC15 intelligence save throw or be stunned until the grapple ends. So that's pretty straightforward. We just add a grapple maneuver. So I'm gonna go over to my maneuvers and add grapple. So that should be 1 action point. It's a physical save. Failure, the target is grappled. So we're gonna go here, condition, grapple. Oh wait, what about the action point though? We'll probably have to add that ourselves. So boom, 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 boom. Grapple. On failure. Oh wait, no, we didn't even add the main thing. Physical save. And then we use the Discord little stars things, the same Discord formatting to make that bold. And boom. All right, so we have tentacles. So melee martial attack versus physical defense, 5 bludgeoning damage. Then we can add it, we can pump in another action point. Physical save, failure, target is grappled. Physical save needs a period after it. What am I doing? There we go. Oh yeah, we didn't even add our attack check. So our attack check is going to be at level 7 +8. Woo! Our speed is going to be 5 unless it has something otherwise. Nope, it's going to be 5. And then our save DC. All right. So 10 plus our prime, which at this level is 4. So we're at 14. Plus our combat mastery, which is 4 at level 7. So that should be 18. This thing's a hard thing to fight. This is hard to fight. In my Tuesday game, I accidentally made Skelly too strong. Party would have been TPK'd if I didn't hold back. Been there. More often than not, when I've used monsters I've converted on stream and thrown them at my players, they've been able to wipe them out really quickly and a little too easily. So I'm not opposed to buffing up monsters in DC20 anymore. In 5e, I could mess with the stats and it wouldn't matter. Players still win easy, but DC20, it's a little harder to do that. It's taking some time to figure out what the right balance is. I agree. My players are starting to learn to use grit to mitigate damage and the help action to go for big hits. My players love using grit and help. Yeah, exactly. Help the action. Yeah. Yeah, they never forget grit. Grit is based off your charisma modifier. So whatever your charisma is +2, and you basically use it to aid somebody on a saving throw. It's pretty cool. It's really, really cool. They just moved to level 1 after the fight. In hindsight, I should have not adjusted the Skelly. Throw a monster I made at them. That might would do the trick. All right.
Liam Dipilla says, throw a monster I made at them. LOL.
I shouldn't have read it before. I didn't know if the text-to-speech was going to work. Now I know. Okay, our next thing is extract brain. All right, so extract brain. This feels like it's going to be a powerful one, so we might up the action points. We are going to copy this formula. Wait, I didn't even check the range. I believe it's melee, right? Yeah, melee. On one incapacitated humanoid grappled by the Mind Flayer. On a hit, the target takes 55 piercing damage. Holy crap. Holy crap. Whoa. Let's say melee martial attack versus grappled targets physical defense. I think that's how we have to format this one. So melee martial attack versus grappled targets physical defense 5, and this one's piercing damage. And then this one gets a little weird, right? This one is piercing damage, and let's see what we're doing with this thing. If this damage reduces the target to 0 health points, the Mind Flayer kills the target by extracting and devouring its brain. All right, so we can't exactly add that because it's not enough damage, but we can make a little variant of it. So we probably need to add something like the bleeding condition, something that constantly does true damage. Thank you. You just put it there. That looks tasty.
Thank you.
I'll show it off for you. That the wife I was bragging about earlier, Flex the Ring, she made these little like egg, turkey, bacon, jalapeno little thingies. Look at that. Pizza time, gotta go. Have fun. We'll catch the recap for the Flayer. Have a good night. Enjoy the pizza. I'm Jelly. Pizza's always great. Flame Master, what's up? You can have it be Doom. Oh, I forgot about Doom. Hold up. Let me pull up the core rules again, because I forgot about that. Doom. Doomed 1, because that's the condition. Yeah, Doomed X. The HP threshold of Death's Door for determining death is decreased by an amount equal to the value of X. If your doomed value is ever equal to or higher than your Death's Door threshold, you instantly die upon reaching 0 HP. You lose all stacks of doomed when you complete a long rest. Whoo! Yeah, I think doomed is the way to go. Example, if your Death's Door threshold is -3 and you have doomed 1, the HP threshold of Death's Door changes from -3 HP to -2 HP, causing you to die if your HP is ever reduced to -2 HP or lower. Yeah, okay, let's make it a doomed condition then. Let's do that. I like that. That's a good one. Maxim Smirnoff, howdy mate.
Dan says, D&D should have been called 5 squared, which equals 25, as in.
Ran out of characters. Or maybe it was because it was too many repeating numbers. How you doing, Maxim? Good to see you. 20 damage is around the damage that it would be from 2014 5e to DC20. Yeah, but high damage like that isn't super a thing in DC20. So I'm trying to avoid that as much as possible and make up for it with either conditions or maneuvers. But I think the doomed condition is the way to go. I really liked that one. I liked whoever suggested that one again. That was really good. I used doomed as a failure for exploration challenge in a dark forest. Ooh. I like that. All right, so what are we going to call this? Let's find something clever in the original stat block that we can call it. Let's name it something after Devour. Or maybe we just name it Devour. Devour. That's not how you spell it. Devour, right? Devour? That's how we spell it? D-E-V-O-U-R? Devour? Which, actually, we don't want that to be an action. Yeah, we want that to be a condition. Devour. And then we'll make that a +1. And then this will be... I mean, you're not escaping this physically. So... mystical save. Mystical save. Failure. How mean should we be with this? How about this? Let's call this failure the target is doomed 1. And then we have failure +5, which that's not how we format it, but I can't remember. Failure +5 plus, this is so mean, +1 additional point of doomed. That might be too harsh. Oh, I remember how we format this now. This is done like that. All right. So, we have extract brain, melee martial attack versus grapple targets.
Bone of Fickle Fortune says, the save is still called mental.
What do you mean it's still called? What do you mean? I'm gonna crash out. I'm gonna crash out over saves again. Hold on. Hold the phone. Such as physical saves and mental fit saves. I'm not calling it a mental save. That's dumb. I'm not calling it a mental save. Nope. Do we have a mental defense? We don't. We have a physical defense. Do we have a mental defense? No, we changed that. I'm calling it mystical. I've put it in before. I'll put it again. Mystical. It's either mystical or it's mental. Which is it, DC20? You know what? I might make a whole video about this. I might make some whole YouTuber thing. I played DC20 for 2 years. Here's what I learned. And in the negative section, it's only one thing. Mystical and mental. It's going to be that. Golly. I can't believe the core rulebook says mental save. I'm going to crash out. I'm going to crash out. This is going to be the last one. This is going to be the last monster stream. I'm going to be dead. Golly. Golly. Anyways. Just the defense is called mystical. Charisma and intelligence are called mental attributes. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I'm not attacking an attribute. That's not what's happening. Your attribute doesn't have a defense. There's no agility defense, intelligence defense, charisma defense. It's either physical defense or mystical defense. No. No. I might make this a whole Reddit post in the DC20 Reddit subreddit. I might do it. I might be like, hey guys, so mental defense is dumb, right? Mystical defense will have to be reverted back to mental defense. It's got to be at this point. I might send a message to coach tonight. Be like, hey man, love what you're doing for the game. Hear this. I would argue that mystical defense is made from the mental attributes. Well, then what the hell is a mystical defense then? There is a DC20 subreddit. It's pretty cool. I like it. A lot of good conversations happen there. All right. So how do we feel about the extract brain feature for our DC20 Mind Flayer? Right now we have it as a melee martial attack versus a grappled target's physical defense. And then it's 5 piercing damage. And then we have a condition that you can add on called Devour. It's a mystical save. On a failure, the target is doomed 1. On a failure, +5, +1 additional point of doomed. It might be harsh.
This man is clinically insane. This man is an actually crazy person.
That was a very appropriate use of that sound. That was a very appropriate use of that sound bite. The flaw of DC20. I agree. Bruh, Mind Flayer has such a shitty stat block. Doesn't even support the idea of an intelligent psychic. He just grabs, eats brain, and farts with psychic damage. Oh, man. I've heard, I haven't seen it for myself yet, but I've heard the Mind Flayer had a massive improvement along with several monsters in the new monster manual. So when we get our hands on that book and we start converting the entire book to DC20, I'm curious to see what kind of improvements were made to the Mind Flayer. Because the purpose of these streams and the exercise of these streams is to try our best to get a 1-to-1 conversion in DC20, while also getting ourselves familiarized with some of the design philosophy of DC20, how the mechanics work in the game, better understanding how it works in gameplay. It's not necessarily to make the better stat block. It's just an exercise of converting one thing to another. But I like the way that you described farts with psychic damage. Oh, man. Probably should stun 1 for brain eating. Ooh. We might can add that as an attack enhancement. I like the idea of the stun condition. Okay. So we have Extract Brain. I think we're pretty happy with it. Our next thing is Mind Blast. And this is a recharge effect. So I might actually make this an Apex action. I know you guys can't really see it because it gets cut off, but I'll go ahead and read it. The Mind Flayer magically emits psychic energy in a 60-foot cone. Each creature in that area must succeed on a DC15 intelligence saving throw or take 22 psychic damage and be stunned for 1 minute. A creature can repeat the saving throw at the end of each of its turns, ending the effect on itself on a success.
Athayan says, sounds like Jimmy Neutron's Brain Blast. Jimmy kinda looks like a Mind Flayer.
I guess so. Alright, so I guess that's where our stun condition is going to go in the Mind Blast. But I think we're going to make Mind Blast a feature that spends some Apex points. I think that makes sense. So let's go ahead and revisit some of the spells that it says that we have in here. And go ahead and incorporate those into the stat block. So we have Detect Thoughts, Levitate, Dominate Monster, and Plane Shift. So let's go ahead and look at Levitate spell from 5e. Verbal, 60 feet. Concentration. One creature or loose object of your choice that you can see within range rises vertically up to 20 feet. and remain suspended there for the duration. The spell can levitate a target that weighs up to 500 pounds. An unwilling creature that succeeds on a Constitution saving throw is unaffected. The target can move only by pushing or pulling against a fixed object or surface within reach, such as a wall or ceiling, which allows it to move as if it were climbing. You can change the target's altitude by up to 20 feet in either direction on your turn. If you are the target, you can move up or down as part of your move. Otherwise, you can use your action to move the target, which must remain within the spell's range. Okay. I have an idea of how we can cook with this. I have an idea. I'm amazed on how much I am done with D&D. I just stopped watching straight 5.5 content because it's harming my remembering 5e rules on the only game I'm not a GM. I've fully switched over to the 2024 edition with D&D. But yeah, I agree. It's messed with a lot of the rules for me. As a GM, I've switched to DC20, and that's wonderful. Superior. All right, so let's make Levitate a feature. So we're going to add one. Levitate. And then we're going to go over to our maneuvers. No, wait, features. No, wait, formatting. There we go. There we go. Command C. Command V, mana point effect, range spell attack versus mystical defense. X distance type, X damage type. Okay, so for levitate, it's up to 20 feet. So divide that by 5, and you get 4. You get 4 spaces. Up to 4 spaces. So we're gonna say 4. Range spell attack versus mystical defense, 4 spaces. And we're not gonna make this type. So we're gonna say actually mana point effect. Yeah, it has to be a ranged spell attack. Versus targets, mystical defense, 4 spaces. Failure, right? So failure, and then we can go ahead and start messing with the levitating part. The spell can levitate. Range spell attack versus targets, mystical defense, 4 spaces. Failure. The target is how do we word this? The target rises. Oh wait, the range is 60 feet. Oh wait, hold on. 12 spaces. Failure. The target. I just read it and then I read something else. The target rises vertically up to 4 spaces and remains suspended there. I think it's just a drop effect. Well, the target rises 4 spaces vertically and is suspended there until the until the start of the Mind Flayer's turn. Range spell attack versus target's mystical defense, 12 spaces. On a failure, the target rises 4 spaces vertically and is suspended there until the start of the Mind Flayer's turn. And then there is a whole bunch of text about how you can move. Target can move only by pushing or pulling against a fixed object or surface within reach, which allows it to move as if it were climbing. So we're going to take that bit of text and copy it over. The target, which we're going to capitalize, the target can move only by pushing or pulling against a fixed object or surface within reach. We don't need that text. We already know what that means, which allows it to move as if it were climbing. I don't think we need that either. I think that's just kind of filler. So then what we're going to do is we're going to say failure +5. Yeah, we're going to say failure +5. And then we're going to say plus 1 help. Well, that's not right. +1 additional space pushed. You know what? I'm pretty happy with that. Let's see what you guys are thinking. I gotta go, guys. Have fun. Knuckleborn of Fickle Fortune, thank you so much for hanging out tonight. Thank you so much for your input and your advice. And yeah, thanks for hanging out. My kid's game over this vacation was on Never Stop Blowing Up. Whoa, from Dimension 20, and it was a whole lot of fun. And now I'm back to my Mega DC20 campaign. How did you like Never Stop Blowing Up? I enjoyed watching it, but how did it actually feel playing the game? I would love to hear how that went. If I were designing Mind Flayer, I would make him a controller that would assault minds with Psychic and Heavily Dazed, then Command, plus Heavily Impaired. Then grabs and eats brains that heals and buffs him. That's not bad. That's not a bad idea. So what you're saying is that Dimension 20 are terrorists because Never Stop Blowing Up. What? What does this heavily conditioned mean? Oh, you're talking about the other thing. I've mentioned 2 things out could mean, but I don't recall having read what it means. Heavily Dazed and Impair also gives disadvantage. I'm going to guess we like the Levitate effect on the Mind Flayer. So we're going to move on to the next spell, which is Detect Thoughts, which honestly should just be a feature. This one's lengthy. Brace yourselves. For the duration, you can read the thoughts of certain creatures when you cast the spell and as your action on each turn until the spell ends. You can focus your mind on any one creature that you can see within 30 feet of you. If the creature you choose has an intelligence of 3 or lower, or doesn't speak any language, the creature is unaffected. You initially learn the surface thoughts of the creature. Okay, I know what I need to do for this one, but I cannot show you my screen because I don't have permission to show it.
Athayant says, the Levitate feature sucks. Do better. This is a joke.
Okay. Alright, so I'm going to look at the Scion and the Cyborn I'm going to look at that real quick because I know I can't show it, but I think I know what I need to do. Telekinesis, telepathy. We already have that. Mind sense. Invade mind. That's what I'm looking for. honestly, might need to give this to the Mind Flayer. Enter into its mind, subvert it. Choose one of the 4 options below. Assault mind, read emotions, or read thoughts. But does it deal any damage? No. I'm tempted to make this a feature. But no, it needs to be an action. So we're going to make this invade. Yeah. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna open this over here so where you guys can't see it, and then
Ant says, little did I know it would be a feature. A creature feature. Featuring the creature.
Oh. Okay. So here's how we're gonna do this one. This one's gonna be interesting. So we're gonna call this one, it's originally called Detect Thoughts. We're gonna call this one Invade Mind. And we're gonna say this is actually gonna be 2 action points. The Mind Flayer it needs to target a creature though. That's the only problem. I can't show you the screen of the Scion and everything because it's not official. And I'm trying not to use all of it. I'm trying to just use a certain part of it. You know what? Honestly, we'll just call this Detect Thoughts. We'll make it a 2-coster. And this will be a this will be a mana point effect. So MP effect. Ranged spell attack versus targets intelligence save. On a success. Oh wait, we need to actually know what it is though. This is within 10 spaces. Okay, cool. 10 spaces. Versus target's intelligence save. On a success. We say failure for everything else. We're gonna say failure. So failure. It's weird to throw in success all of a sudden. The Mind Flayer knows the surface level thoughts they're thinking at the moment, and the target has disadvantage on attacks made against it for the duration. Against it until the end of its next turn. Mind Flayer knows the surface level thoughts they're thinking at the moment, and the target has disadvantage on attacks made against it until the end of its next turn. Boom! Detect Thoughts. 10 spaces, more like 10 maces. Okay. I didn't think I could come up with a never stop blowing up games, especially for the kids that haven't watched action movies, but I've adapted it to be video games and cartoons, and it works. And it's awesome. Okay, cool. Bowser was the boss on the video game world. The kids loved it, and I also had great fun. That sounds great. Merge Levitate with Catapult, and you get a banger. Oh, jeez. Which means the target makes a mental save. Zizania, are you trying to make me crash out right now?
Ant says, man, I would really hate for Jakin to know I think about him eating firms. Liam Dipilla says, I feel like I live in a world of cardboard always being careful not to break something, to break someone.
What? I mean, make levitate an enhancement for catapult. Ah, oh, interesting. Frogs. Okay, I don't know what we're talking about. Okay, so we have detect thoughts. We have levitate, and then once a day it has dominate monster and plane shift. All right, dominate monster. You attempt to.
Saxenia says, maybe.
Maybe. Mental save. I thought that's if it's intelligence and charisma, and you pick the higher of the two. I'm gonna crash out. You attempt to beguile a creature that you can see within range. It must succeed on a wisdom saving throw or be charmed by you for the duration. If you or creatures that are friendly to you are fighting it, it has advantage on the saving throw. While the creature is charmed, you have a telepathic link with it as long as the two of you are on the same plane of existence. You can use this telepathic link to issue commands to the creature while you are conscious, no action required, which it does its best to obey. You can specify a simple and general course of action, such as attack the creature, run over there, and fetch the object. If the creature completes the order and doesn't receive any further direction from you, it defends and preserves itself to the best of its ability. I'm looking at some of the other features that I might can add, because I don't think I'm going to add Dominate Monster.
Caesar Faria says, Jakin, please detect my previous thought.
Please detect my previous thought. Thinking about detect thoughts, make it deal psychic damage on the attack, and the effect you've written will be gated by a save. Coach calls it dynamic saves, right? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I like that. Definitely needs to have a cost to it, though. That's pretty powerful. I'm tempted to make that +2. Help detect thoughts. Boom. And then, what are we calling this again? So, hold on. We called this Invade Mind. That's right. Whoa! It changed. Invade Mind. Alright. Boom. Range spell attack versus targets.
Maxim Smirnov says, can I spell anything like this?
Huh? Hold on. Range spell attack versus targets. Mental defense, mystical defense. You guys are killing me. 10 spaces. 10 spaces. And then 5 psychic damage. Alright, so then we make this other one down here. Intelligence save. We already know it's 10 spaces. Intelligence save. Failure. The Mind Flayer knows the surface level thoughts they're thinking at the moment, and the target has disadvantage on attacks made against it until the end of its next turn. Alright, so we have Invade Mind for 1 action point.
Ant says, hydrate.
Hydrate. Alright. Yeah, that's fair. I thought the DC guy would get that reference. The reference. I need to go back. I feel like I live in a world of cardboard, always being careful not to break something, to break someone. Superman, right? I'm gonna go crazy. I think it's Superman. Boop, boop, boop. I literally have Superman as my background. Yeah, that's when he's fighting Darkseid. Yeah. I have the entire Justice League Unlimited, Batman the Animated Series, Superman the Animated Series, all of it on DVD, physical media. They'll never take that away from me. That's my DC universe. I love that DC universe. Also, Green Arrow. Green Arrow is the GOAT of the Justice League Unlimited TV show. That dude keeps everyone in check. That dude, Green Arrow is the GOAT of that show. Second place is The Question. Third place is Huntress.
Says, hey, the AI voice pronounces my name correctly, ha 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 ha.
That laugh was kind of crazy. Also, I'm working with a few buddies of mine to make a DC Comics supplement for DC20. Just letting you know. We're calling it, you'll never believe this.
Says, crazy? I was crazy once.
DC20. Haha. Alright, so we have Invade Mind. I don't think we're going to do Dominate Person. And then the last spell is Plane Shift. You and up to 8 willing creatures, golly, who link hands in a circle are transported to a different plane of existence. What? You can specify a target destination in general terms, such as the City of Brass, or the Elemental Plane of Fire, or the Palace of Dispater. Dispater? I don't know. On the second level of the 9 Hells, and you appear in or near that destination. If you are trying to reach the City of Brass, for example, you might... That's too long of a spell already. Alternatively, you know the sigil sequence of a teleportation circle on another plane of existence. Look, no. I honestly, I don't think... If I do that, that's going to be an Apex feature. That's not going to be a main action. All right. I think that's good for the main actions. The last thing we really have to do is the Mind Blast, right? And then, yeah. All right. So let's go ahead and do this. Let's go ahead and do this. Attack enhancements. Are there any attack enhancements that we want to add? I think so. Let's go over to maneuvers. We need power, slow, poison, rend, burning, impair, hinder, shock, sap. I think sap. Yeah, let's do sap. Sap. Boom. This is a repeated might save. So, boom. And then we got failure. Target is impaired for 1 minute. While impaired this way, it can't regain HP. Yeah, we're going to add sap. I think that checks out for a Mind Flayer. And you know what? Let's add shock. I'm feeling a little evil. Let's add shock. Boom. This is going to be a physical save. And then on a save failure, target loses 1 action point. Yeah. Yeah. Womp womp, I didn't read it. Plane shift is just useless. I agree. It's pronounced sigil. It's pronounced sigil in D&D. The way that word is spelled, it should be sigil. But for some stupid reason, it's sigil. And I only know this because I got early access to that D&D VTT beta for D&D Beyond, and they call it Project Sigil because it's the city of Sigil. Make it that the Mind Flayer can cast some spells. This way you don't have to describe it as a combat action. I don't know. I really hate when a stat block says refer to spells. I really hate that. And so far we haven't had that with any of our DC20 stat blocks. You know, yeah, I'm not gonna do it. I'm too stubborn. But we do need to clarify with Spellcaster. The Mind Flayer can't make opportunity attacks, but can engage in spell duels using their Levitate or Invade Mind. Levitate for sure. Using their Levitate. And we're going to bold that. So they can use the spell Levitate to spell duel with. They have a +4 bonus when taking part in a spell duel. All right. Reactions. I'm not crazy about them having reactions, so I don't see a need for it. Let's go ahead and preview the draft. This is looking pretty clean so far. Pretty clean. We do need some Apex features. So I need to save draft and go to my monsters, specifically Tiamat, to figure out how I did this. So I have legendary action points. Yeah, okay, so we're going to take that and then go back to monsters, go back to my monsters, new monster, edit, boom, legendary action points. Tiamat, nope. The Mind Flayer has 5 legendary action points. It can spend any number of legendary action points to take an action at the end of any PC's turn. 5, no. Let's say, let's not give it 5. Well, actually, how should we do this? All right, let's review a monster. What else have we given these? The Beholder, I believe, has some. Oh, you can't see it on the screen. Has 3 legendary action points. What level was a Beholder? Level 13. It had 3. Tiamat had 5. Winter Spirit, Frostwalker, Snow Golem. Did the Hydra? Reactive Heads. Legendary action points. 5. Okay. So let's edit this. So let's say legendary action points 3. Yeah, legendary action points 3. We'll say that. Side note, 5 piercing seems low for Extract Brain. I think the D&D version flavor is that it one-shot kills you if you get grappled, unless you are pretty high level 2. 5 damage won't even one-shot some level 1 characters. Yeah, we talked about it because other creatures that...
says, Mantic is very cool.
Mantic is very cool.
Saxenia says, Sigil reminds me of Wiggle and makes me giggle.
Okay. Like other monster stat blocks in the past that we've converted, it's always been like you can like there's some kind of feature or an action that is just like it's a save or death. But with the Mind Flayer, it was just if it hits, it deals this much damage, which isn't really a thing in DC20 that I'm aware of, and I'm pretty sure Coach has shot down that kind of idea before. So what I have for right now is the doomed condition. So it's just reducing that condition, which you can only get rid of once you complete a full rest, I believe, not even a long rest. So should that creature get down to whatever stack of doom it has on it, it just dies. So no longer -3 death threshold. It could literally be a... Honestly, it could probably... I don't see why the doomed X condition can't go past 0. I don't see why not. I don't see why not. All right, yeah, but our Apex feature. So we're gonna copy this, and then we're just gonna workshop it once we have it. This is called Mind Blast. So we need this to be. Yeah. Oops. Whoa. Probably, yeah. Mind Blast. Control V. Oh, wait, we don't need it to look like that. Hold on. Oh, wait, yeah. Hold on, wait, we don't need it to look like that. We need it to look like all the other stuff. So we'll do this. We'll do boom. Boom. Oh, wait, we need the bold. So we're gonna do that. 1. Whoa! Whoa! I'm kidding. We need that in there too. Mind Blast. All right. Now we copy and paste. The Mind Flayer magically emits psychic energy in a 60-foot cone. All right. So immediately we need to change how that one's flavored. So that's going to be a ranged spell attack versus targets MD 12 space cone. Emits psychic energy in a 60-foot cone. Actually, wait. We can have some of that flavor text in there. Yeah, okay, we'll do that. So the Mind Flayer magically emits psychic energy at... No, I lied. I lied. I changed my mind. I'm indecisive. Ranged spell attack versus targets MD 12 space cone. Each creature in that area must succeed on a DC 15 intelligence saving throw or take 22 psychic damage and be stunned for 1 minute. All right, so yeah, we're gonna make this, instead of 5 damage, we'll make the... I'm hesitant to make it 10, but it's such a powerful effect. Screw it. 10 psychic damage. Well, I might make that 8. Range spell attack versus each target's mystical defense and a 12 space cone, psychic damage. Mind Flayer magically in a cone. Each creature must succeed or take psychic damage and be stunned for 1 minute. All right, this is what I got so far. Mind Blast, ranged spell attack versus each target's mystical defense. 12 space cone, 10 psychic damage. All right, so then we're gonna enter 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we're gonna say +1. What was it? Stun. Yeah, stun. Repeated intelligence save. Repeated intelligence save. Failure. The target is, what is it, stunned 1? Is that how it works? I can't show the PDF. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Stunned. Stunned. The target is stunned. Yeah, that's just what we'll say. The target is stunned. Okay. No more brains seems like death to me. Time to blast some brains. Sorry, I've been multitasking and missed that out. Oh no, you're good, you're good. Let's see what else we got. Zombified piglins in Minecraft. T-Dog, how you doing? I'm sad I didn't get to join in until now. Glad I get to see the end build, I would like to assume. Yeah, we're basically at the end. It's almost at the publishing point. Let's see. I still feel like the brain eating feature should deal like 15 damage and cost 3 action points. It's gated after that grapple, but I think it should feel pretty dramatic. Yeah, it does require the grapple. I'll tell you what, I'll compromise, okay? I'll make that 2 action points, and we'll make it 8 piercing. That's a little, that's still high for the Mind Flayer at that level. Okay. But, see, this is where I get conflicted. Because at this level, this thing has a +8 to attack. It has such a high... Okay, yeah. Well, so we'll have the tentacles be 5 bludgeoning. Extract brain be 8 piercing, which is gated behind a grapple. Mind Blast can only be done... Oh, interesting. Oh, it didn't include those spaces. Ah, interesting. Interesting. In that case, I don't know. Okay. Yeah, I think I'm ready with the stat block. I think I'm ready. I'm pretty happy with this thing. Whoa, I'm moving the wrong thing around. Yeah, check this out. Check this out. Ta-da! Here, I'll move this up so we can actually see everything. This is our Mind Flayer. Has 55 health points, physical defense of 18, mystical defense of 19, MDR of 2. There are mentions of a mystical save. Get over it. I'm not putting mental save.
Hey, Ant says, can I fillet the Mind Flayer?
I don't know. You could try. You can certainly try. We have tentacles, We have Grapples. We have Extract Brains. Doomed 1. Plus 1 additional point of Doom. On a failure. 4 spaces vertically. Yeah. I think I'm happy with this. So, like all stat blocks, I'm going to publish this and then share it with you guys in the Discord server. So if you're not part of the Swordplay and Sorcery Discord server, ! Discord in the chat to join. It's absolutely free, so why not? We have a lot of fun in there. We often play Marvel Rivals and Overwatch. We hang out in the voice chats. It's also where you can share your stream suggestions. So if there's a monster that you love in 5th edition that you desperately want in DC20, hashtag stream suggestions in the Discord server. Go ahead and put it in there, and who knows, maybe we'll see yours on stream. Also, if you have monsters that you want me to personally review on stream, then we even got a channel for that. There's still several monsters that we have yet to review, including a lot that are Five Nights at Freddy's, some original creations, and some other people's 5th edition conversions. It's pretty cool. Discord.
Ant says, har 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 har.
Har 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 har. Yeah. ! Discord. Trying to think what else. If you want to support the stream, support the channel and everything we do, a really great way to do that is Patreon. ! Patron. It'll take you to our page for $5 a month. You get your name added to the credits. You get access to a little exclusive Discord server, some behind the scenes updates, early videos. I need to update the February one because I forgot one patron member, but yeah, you get added to the credits. You're a producer. You help produce the content on this channel. If you don't necessarily want to be part of Patreon, but you would like to wear some DC20, not DC20, some Swordplay and Sorcery merch, ! Merch in the chat. It'll take you to our Swordplay and Sorcery website where we sell beanies, sweatshirts, a really, really soft hoodie, and a really, really comfortable embroidered hat. I love it. I love it so much. But oh look, there's the Mind Flayer stream. It's right here. It's already on the website. Would you look at that? Oh man. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for tuning in. This was my version of what a Mind Flayer would look like in DC20. What do we have lined up for the next monster conversion stream? If I go ahead and look in the Discord, it looks like I'm a little confused. It looks like we might be making our first original creation, a meatloaf golem. Looks like we're gonna be making a meatloaf golem. So it'll probably be a meatloaf golem and reviewing some of your guys' creations. Interesting. That's probably what we're gonna do. But after that, we got some really interesting ones coming up. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you Monday in our DC20 video about techniques. Adios. Live long and prosper. Goodbye.